Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Parker. My name's Reverend Rick McCollum, and I'm glad you're here with us today for our Sunday morning service. As we begin today, I want you to know that as a spiritual center, we honor all paths to God. We recognize that there are many different ways to have an experience and a relationship with the God of your understanding. So wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you're welcome here. And we're glad that you're with us today. As we begin today, I would like to light our unity candle. We light this candle recognizing that light, that flame that's there, is the light of spirit that's in each and every one of us. And so we bless this time, and we bless each one that joins us in this lesson this morning. As a spiritual center, we have a 30-year goal, and I'd like to remind you of that goal as we're used to saying it together when we're in person. You can say it with me. The Center for Spiritual Living Parker is a global resource to help people discover and live their spiritual truths. And that's what we're about, is to help people discover and live what their spiritual truth is. Many paths, but one God. And so we share that. I'll remind you that we also have services on Wednesday evening with our Spiritual Connection Live on Facebook. This coming Wednesday, I'll be talking about Earth Day, and we'll be doing a little celebration of the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. So I invite you to join us Wednesday at 7 p.m. And next Sunday, we'll be back here again at 10 a.m. to share this online service with you. Thank you for being a part of us today. And now let's move into our time of meditation.
Sit comfortably, resting your hands on your legs or at your sides. Begin to focus your attention on your breathing, feeling your chest move gently inwards and outwards. Again, inwards and outwards. Allow your mind to be inspired and bring yourself to see in your mind's eye an amazing version of you. How would you create yourself? Imagine how you would look. Imagine how you would act. Imagine how this new look feels like. Imagine creating this incredible life for yourself, where happiness is your natural state. Just continue to breathe naturally and effortlessly feel the air come in and out of your nostrils, and feel a soothing lightness throughout your body, flowing from the top of your head down to the very tips of your toes, gently and effortlessly, as you slowly and gradually create this awareness. Repeat after me in your mind, each time counting down from 5 to 1 and stating, I am perfect, whole and complete. After each number, repeating after me. 5. I am perfect, whole and complete. 4. I am perfect, whole and complete. 3. I am perfect, whole and complete. 2. I am perfect, whole and complete. 1. I am perfect, whole and complete. Remember the life that you love, the image you create of yourself results from your choices and the actions that you take. So why not have an amazing life? Life will always be filled with ups and downs, but it's your conscious choosing that will create your heaven here on earth. Forget the past, live in the moment, and let go of what no longer serves you. Sit with your feelings, whatever they are at this moment. For just a few more moments, feel the air moving in and out of your chest, moving gently and effortlessly. Become aware of your truth. Allow it to arise and experience the power of your truth. Remain in the stillness and allow yourself to let go. Imagine and create your new life now.
Optimism is contagious. Say it loud and sing it strong. Optimism is contagious. Pick it up and pass it on. make a difference. With positive messages, dance past the edges of doubt. It's a ripple, it's a rhythm, it's a movement, it's a beating of drums. Oh, and you can't help but move to its music when it comes. Optimism is contagious. Say it loud and sing it strong. Optimism is contagious. Pick it up and pass it on. Rocks can be smooth and tides can be moved by the moon. Armies disarmed and snakes simply charmed by a tune. It's a candle, it's a beacon, it's a comet, it's a consolation. Oh, so let yourself go and bask in the glow of the illumination. Optimism is contagious. Say it loud and sing it strong. Optimism is contagious. Pick it up and pass it on. Oh, simply defined, it's a state of mind. Oh, do you want to stand in the dark, or do you want to shine? Optimism is contagious. Say it loud and sing it strong. Optimism is contagious. Pick it up and pass it on. It's a ripple, it's a rhythm. Optimism is contagious. Say it loud and sing it strong. Oh, optimism is contagious. Pick it up and pass it on. Bask in the glow. Optimism is contagious. It's a state of mind. Say it loud and sing it strong. Go ahead and let it shine. Optimism is contagious. Pick it up and pass it on. Pick it up and pass it on. Pick it up and pass it on. Pick it up and pass it on.
We're continuing our series today on bright beginnings, and today's talk is titled Unwritten. Each moment of life is an opportunity for us to create a new choice and to create a better life for ourselves. Humans unfold from a limitless potential and can bring anything into experience that can be conceived in our minds. Those of you that are on Facebook, I'm sure, have seen many of the senior pictures that are there as a way to honor the class of 2020, which does not get to have their normal graduation or their prom or many other rites of passages that seniors typically would have. They're being honored by many people who are posting their own senior pictures and sharing and blessing the class of 2020 as they are on their unique journey during this time of pandemic. So I think that's a nice creative way to share with one another and to honor those who are not getting to go through the rites of passage that many of us did in the ways that we did. I will have to say that as I've looked at several of these pictures on Facebook, wow. The differences in people, the hairstyles, the clothes, the glasses that some people had. To look at these pictures and to know you now, what a change. What a metamorphosis here. So it takes me back to thinking about what was that individual at that time in their life, their senior year, with all the celebrations that were going on, what were they thinking about their life? How were they planning their life to unfold? What was the story that they attached to back then? Have you changed the story of your life through the years? I want you to note that you are a creative being. You didn't create your creativeness. That was instilled in you at birth. That's one of the God qualities that each of us have in our lives is creativity. And we can use that creativity in wonderful ways. One way to use our creative nature is by engaging our beautiful imagination. Neville Goddard, New Thought teacher and author, says imagination creates experience, and our imagination is the point where we intersect with the creative power of the divine. So creativity is part of the nature of God. It's a God quality, and we all are imbued with this God quality. Are we allowing that creative nature to come forth? Because I can assure you that we are each creating our lives right here, right now, whether we're doing it consciously or not. Our thinking is what creates our lives. So where is our thought process? Are we engaging our beautiful imagination to create something even better than what we have now? Or are we tied to some limitation of the past? My father grew up in extreme poverty. He was one of 14 children. His father was a Church of God minister. So because there were so many children, many of them were grouped very close together in age. My father used to talk about how they had one set of clean clothes for the boys and one set of clean clothes for the girls. He said if you wanted to wear the clean clothes that day, you needed to be the first one that got up so that you could get the clean clothes. If you weren't the first one up, then you had to wear the same clothes you wore yesterday. You see, his mother didn't do laundry for all 14 kids. They washed one set of clothes for each boy, either the boys or the girls, each day. His mindset here was, if it was good enough for him, it's good enough for us. Now, my father had 6 children. Not that he wanted 6 children, but that's what he was blessed with. And so he was always in this fear that he was not going to be able to provide for his family. He was a school teacher. He taught woodshop in high school. He also coached many sports to earn extra income. But the mindset here was always that he needed to get by on as little as possible. And he wanted his children to get by on as little as possible as well. If we would ask for something new, we might as well have been talking to the wind, because he would always tell us, no, you can't have that. You're not getting that. You don't need that. Look at everything you have. You've got clothes on your back. That's all you need. You want them clean, you wash them. he also had a great imagination. Now, not that he used that imagination to improve his life in ways that I would have wanted to, but he could fix anything. If you gave my father a few screws and some duct tape, he would fix no matter what was broken. He had a very old car. When the floorboards rusted out in the car, he would take a few screws and screw old license plates together and put them in the floorboard and then cover them with duct tape. Many times when there were still holes in the floorboard, as we were riding with him to school, the wind was blowing up from the road. On cold days, it wasn't much fun, but that's just the way it was. It was good enough for all of us, and the car was still running. So my father never moved past that poverty mindset. He lived with that all of his life. When he was around 65, I remember distinctly him telling my mother, "I am not buying any more clothes. Don't buy me any clothes. I won't have time to wear them out before I die." And that was his mindset. He wanted to make sure everything was well used and used until it could no longer be used anymore. As a child, this mindset bothered me. It didn't really resonate with my heart. There was an abundant world. There is an abundant world out here. And so why are we limiting ourselves? Why can we not manifest more? Are we not open to it? Because that's what I saw in my father, was he was not open to having more. He was not open to living in a new way. He was tied to the past and the poverty that he grew up in. And that's where he continued throughout his life. Many people are like my father. They're tied to their past, and they don't allow themselves to even entertain the idea of a more abundant life. Here's where our beautiful imagination can come in. As a little boy, I would dream about a better life. I would think about how life could be different for me and how I wanted my life to be different for my children. I knew that I wanted my children to have more than what I had. And I wanted to see them grow and thrive in life, not just barely get by. But I wanted to give more. Author Gay Hendricks believes visualization is one of the most powerful tools for change. I did a lot of visualizing as a child, and I still visualize quite a bit. To imagine what life can be like. What parts of my life coming up I can write. Those parts that are unwritten at this point. How can I write a better future for myself? How can I create a more amazing life? I appreciated so much Shirley's meditation today, where she talked about imagining an amazing life for ourselves. Can you do that? Could you get into the flow of that meditation? And I invite you to continue to do that, to imagine what an amazing life you can have, and to create that amazing life for yourself. It's exciting as we let ourselves go and we release the past. We release any kind of limitation that's held us back. All those messages going on in our minds that say, "Oh no, you can't. Who do you think you are? Why would you think you could achieve that?" Let that go. Let those thoughts float right out of your mind and engage your beautiful imagination to bring forth and to create, to write a new chapter, an amazing life for yourself. Gay Hendricks said many people are propelled by events of the past, But visualization is an act of projecting the present into the future. He's saying here that visualization here, is helping us take what we're seeing in our mind's eye and creating that in our future, projecting that into what manifests for us in the future. So we get to spend some time creating the life that we want to have. And that takes, for many of us, some imagination, moving into new directions, into new thoughts. We consciously create our life all the time. But when we consciously create with a clear mental picture of what it is we want for the world, for ourselves, for our loved ones, then we are creating that amazing life for ourselves. Are you listening to your beautiful imagination? Are you using that to create what you want in life? Oprah Winfrey says, "You are the author of your life. Don't let others define it for you." She says, "Real power comes by doing what you are meant to do and doing it well." You see, we each have a calling in life. That calling will change throughout your lifetime. At different stages of your life, your calling, your work, your purpose will be different than other times. So that's where we need to stay engaged. Stay open at the top, as Ernest Holmes would talk about, so that we're creating right here, right now, what we need to for our lives. To create, using our beautiful imagination, a better life for ourselves, for our loved ones, and for the world. From what Oprah is talking about, being the author of our life and not letting anyone else tell us how to live our life, that says to me that the next chapter of my life is unwritten, and I'm the one that gets to write it. I'm the one that gets to choose. How do I want my life to unfold? Do I want to look for greater and better possibilities? Do I want to imagine an amazing future? Or do I want to just keep plugging along and tied to the past? I think you know which one I'd be choosing. You get to be the author of the story of your life. So what will you choose? What will you have for your life as you write these unwritten chapters, as you move forward in life? What kind of story are you going to write? Our mission at Center for Spiritual Living Parker is to be a global resource to help people discover and live their spiritual truth. Part of our spiritual truth that we get to discover and live is that we are powerful, creative, spiritual beings. You are a powerful, creative, spiritual being, and I want you to create that amazing life that's available to you. I want you to be able to picture what would make you happy. What would create the love, the joy, the peace, the excitement in the world around you? And then set about imagining that so clearly in your mind that it gets projected into your future, that it unfolds as the creation of your life. Limitless potential is available to us. Are you open to embracing that limitless potential? You know, when I was a little boy, there wasn't such a thing as a cell phone, or a microwave, or a computer. All of these discoveries have been created in my lifetime. And I think of many of us We've seen people go to the moon for the very first time. Space travel, air travel. Life has changed so much, and it continues to change. Are we willing to have that change be something we're creating, we're imagining? Don't let anybody steal your dream from you, no matter what that dream might be, no matter what society might tell you. Even if they say that's impossible. Audrey Hepburn said, impossible. Even the word says, I'm possible. I'm possible. And you are possible. No matter what your dream is, no matter what your amazing life might look like in your mind, yes, you can create it. And you will if you stick to your dreams and you don't allow anyone to stop you, to tell you that that's not correct. You get to choose what you're contributing to the world. In The Science of Mind, on page 267, Ernest Holmes writes, humankind is unfolding in limitless potential, but can bring into the experience only that which one can conceive. There is no limit to the law, but there appears to be a limit to humankind's understanding of it. As their understanding unfolds, their possibilities of attainment will increase. You see, as we open our minds, as we become willing vessels to entertain our beautiful imagination of what an amazing life could look like, then we're able to create that and share that blessing with the world. God has set the banquet table of life before us. How are we going to respond? Will we take and eat of that table? Or will we use some excuse? I'm on a diet. I've never tried that before. I don't want to try it now. Well, that doesn't look very good. It's the banquet table of life. So open yourself up. Give things a try. Spirit isn't going to judge you. Spirit's only going to say yes. When you open your imagination and open your life to new things, it will say yes. Yes, you can do this. You can have this. And that's the beautiful parts of your life that are unwritten. You can begin to write them today. A final story for you. This is a story about Walt Disney. When Walt Disney was in grade school, a well-meaning teacher was peering over his shoulder, was watching him as he drew flowers in the margin of his paper. She tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Walt, honey, those flowers are nice, but flowers don't have faces on them." Walt turned around, looked her straight in the eye, and pronounced boldly, "Well, mine do." Yes, Walt Disney's flowers had faces on them, and he was not going to let his teacher tell him that flowers did not have faces. You see, whatever it is that you want to create in life, you can create. Just be open to using your beautiful imagination. The Science of Mind teaches us how to use our creative power. And that is by imagining the world the way we want it to be. By imagining what new and exciting opportunities can open to us. So no matter where you are in life, if you're living the best life and you want to live even better, that's available to you. If you have lost your job and you're looking for what kind of job will help, Spend some time thinking about what would an amazing life look like for me? What do I want to do? How do I want to bring my gifts to the world? If you're worried about your future, spend some time centering with Spirit this week and get a clear picture of how you prefer your life to unfold. And then with that clear mental picture, affirm that each day. And that's the future that you will write for yourself. My goal for you this week, my assignment would be to spend some time sitting quietly, getting well aware of what it is you want to create through the use of your beautiful imagination. And then see that pictured perfectly in your mind. Don Miguel Ruiz, author of The Four Agreements and several other books, calls this process dreaming a dream for creation. So that's what I invite you to do this week. Dream a dream for creation. Let us pray. We pause and thank you, Spirit, for this time, for this message. We thank you for instilling in each one of us the beautiful imagination, that quality of creativity that you have given to us. Help us to open our hearts and our minds to use that quality that you have provided us, that creative quality that allows us to come forth into the life that we are dreaming about, an amazing life. And so I bless that goal for each and every one of us. I bless us on our journey of creative imagination, of dreaming the dream of a new creation, so that we can write the chapters of our lives that are yet unwritten, and we can make sure those chapters are amazing. Bless us, Spirit, as we sit with you this week, as we spend time entertaining our relationship with you and all of the limitless possibilities that you are offering. Thank you. Thank you for this time. Thank you for each person here that's listening to us and participating in this spiritual community. Help us each to discover and live our spiritual truth. I know this is the truth, and I know that it's what we do. And so I release my word into that law of the universe, that law that always says yes. Join me in saying, and so it is. Thank you. Bless you. Happy creating. Make it an amazing life. And now it's time for our offering. So as we come together for this time to support our spiritual center, I remind you that since we're not passing an offering basket here online, we offer you the opportunity to still donate. You can click on the box at the top of the screen to donate online. You can donate via Zelle, or you can mail a check in. And so we'll share our mailing address with you as well. And we appreciate your support of this community and this spiritual center. Let us now share in our offering affirmation. You can say this with me. I activate the law of circulation. As I give, I also receive. My life overflows with prosperity. And so it is. Thank you. Blessings to you.
oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday you wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dream that you dare to, oh why can't I? Well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dream that you dare to, why